If you're watching this video right now, understand that it isn't a coincidence. Jesus, the greatest of all, has a personal message for you. Your footprints and DNA have been connected to a serious crime. This unbelievable discovery just surfaced, dragging you into a situation you never imagined. Even if it sounds impossible, truth can sometimes be stranger than fiction. Whether you know it or not, something from your past is reappearing in a way you never expected. A forgotten event has been pulled into the spotlight, linking your own footprints at a major crime scene. You might not have physically been there, and maybe someone else has been plotting to set you up. Still, the link has been established, and now a fierce storm is headed your way. Investigators have come across your name where it doesn't belong. But there's more to it than physical proof. Spiritually and emotionally, you've been pulled into something far bigger than you might realize. The chaos swirling around you isn't random. Your enemy has been weaving a trap, trying to accuse you of wrongs you never committed. Yet here's the good news. Jesus already saw all of this coming. He knew what they planned against you before it ever began, and he has a way to rescue you. Don't lose hope or let fear take over. What was intended to ruin you will only strengthen you, if you trust in him. Type, "I claim Jesus' protection," if you're ready to let him deal with this situation on your behalf. You need to realize that the individuals working against you are about to be exposed. The discovery of your footprints has caused worry and dread, but Jesus says you shouldn't be afraid. Truth is emerging, and soon your innocence will shine more brightly than the sun. Jesus is acting quietly on your behalf, even when you can't see it. He is fighting for you. You aren't alone in this struggle. He has surrounded you with his angels, shielding you from every untrue accusation and every deceptive word. Soon, those who scheme to trap you will find themselves caught in the very snare they set. This is divine intervention. God is flipping the situation for your benefit, and what seemed like defeat will become such a great victory that even your foes will have to bow before God's power in your life. Type, "I claim my victory," if you're ready to see Jesus turn the situation around and reveal your innocence to everyone. There's also a deeper side to the crime bearing your name. It isn't just physical, it also reflects a spiritual struggle you've been facing. Certain people have been plotting behind your back, fake friends who aim to harm your future. Jesus sees every secret plot and overhears every whispered plan. He declares that enough is enough. It's time for the full truth to be uncovered. Yet, be prepared that when the truth emerges, it might hurt. You'll learn shocking things about people close to you, and it may shake you to the core. But don't let this breaking news destroy you. It's all part of your spiritual cleansing. Jesus is removing those who aren't meant to stay in your life, those holding you back. Though you'll feel the sting of their betrayal, that pain will lead to your freedom. Type, "I claim my freedom," if you're ready for Jesus to show you the truth and clear out anything that no longer serves you. Here's another startling development. Those who tried to frame you will walk straight into their own trap. They believed they were clever, sure no one would notice their schemes. But they forgot that Jesus sees everything. He reads every hidden motive and will never let injustice stand. Right now, these enemies don't realize the snare they set for you is turning on them. They think they're winning, unaware that God is in your corner. No one can stand against you when God is fighting for you. This is their moment of downfall. Their lies and twisted plans will topple like a fragile tower of cards. The roles are reversing, and you will witness your enemies trapped by their own designs. Jesus is using this battle to lift you to a place of honor and power, where nobody can question your integrity again. Type, "I claim my justice," if you believe God is about to expose falsehood and set you free from this unjust assault. For far too long, your destiny has been under constant siege. Every time you inch closer to success, something pulls you backward. Whenever you almost reach your purpose, an obstacle appears. This isn't just bad luck. There's been a spiritual attack intended to derail your God-given destiny. But Jesus is about to break every chain that has hindered you. He urges you to rise and claim your purpose fully. No more delays or false starts. You're stepping into the life He planned for you from the beginning. This accusation hanging over you is merely a distraction. Your enemy is well aware of your strength and wants to stop you. Not anymore. Jesus is intervening, tearing down every curse, every lie, and every limit placed on you. Prepare to walk in true freedom, purpose, and power. Type, "I claim my destiny," if you're ready to leave your chains behind and embrace the fullness of God's plan for your life. There's one more shocking revelation to confront. The betrayal drawing near is much closer to home than you'd suspect. A person you count on, someone you dearly trust, has been working in the shadows against you. They've fed details to your opponents, fueling their plots and efforts to ruin you. They've smiled to your face while methodically setting you up for heartbreak. Although it's painful, Jesus reveals this now so you won't be taken by surprise. When the truth surfaces, you'll feel wounded, but don't let it consume you. Jesus will empower you to face this discovery with grace. He'll stand by your side as you confront the reality. You are stronger than you believe, and this act of treachery, however painful, will propel you closer to your destiny. Jesus is purifying your circle, removing everyone who doesn't genuinely support you. Type, "I claim strength," if you're prepared to uncover the truth and rise above this betrayal by trusting in Jesus' power. As you keep watching, let this truth sink deep. God's plan for you cannot be derailed. No matter who stands against you or what rumors they spread, no matter the accusation you face, your future rests in Jesus' hands. No earthly or demonic force can rewrite that. You might feel like the whole world is opposing you, and every step forward meets resistance. But you are not walking alone. Jesus is beside you on this path. He'll soon show you that His timing is perfect. He has already written your next chapter, and it's overflowing with blessings, breakthroughs, and miracles. The enemy hoped you'd be crippled by fear, but faith destroys fear's power. You're about to overcome every hurdle, every lie, every backstab, and enter the victory Jesus has promised. Type, "I claim my victory," if you're prepared to live out the unstoppable plan God designed for you. You can't afford to wait any longer. While the enemy is active, Jesus is also on the move. He's urging you to act now, and this is a turning point. Will you stand in faith, trusting Jesus to fight for you, or remain frozen by fear? The choice is yours alone. Keep in mind that the accusations placed on you only scratch the surface of a much larger spiritual conflict. The coming betrayal is just one step toward bigger outcomes. Jesus calls you to trust Him wholly, to release your worries and doubts, and to walk boldly in the authority He has granted you. Type, "I trust Jesus," if you're ready to place your life in His hands and walk by faith. Unseen forces are working non-stop to knock you off course. You've been feeling the weight of it, the stress, the never-ending stumbling blocks. But these events aren't accidental. They're targeted attacks against your purpose. Jesus speaks to you right now because He sees the spiritual war raging around you. You've reached a new level of spiritual warfare without even realizing it, and it's time to strike back with the divine strength you possess. Here's the eye-opening fact. Your footprints and DNA were allegedly found at a major crime scene, but not the sort you imagine. This is part of a spiritual ploy. The enemy's crime is stealing your destiny, framing you for failures you didn't cause, and confining you to a second-rate existence. The staggering truth has just emerged. The devil has been pushing hard to keep you from fulfilling your God-given role. But guess what? Jesus has been watching over you the entire time, and the enemy's plan is about to implode. You've been chosen, marked, and guarded, even when you were unaware. Every attempt to stop you will now turn into fuel that speeds you toward your destiny. You may have spent months or years living in turmoil, dodging spiritual assaults, surviving chaos, and wondering when relief would come. You felt the exhaustion of rising only to be knocked down again. But this day is different. Jesus is pulling back the curtain on what's really happening. You're not merely under attack, you're undergoing divine preparation. While the enemy tried to crush you, you were being refined, shaped, and fortified. Now you must rise up and fight with all you've got because a monumental triumph is heading your way. Type, "I'm ready for battle," if you choose to step into the power Jesus has given you. Now, here's where it becomes truly personal. The greatest threat isn't where you assumed it was. It isn't from your obvious opponents. This stab in the back will come from someone dear to you. This person you trusted has been passing false stories to others, aiming to isolate you and trash your reputation. But Jesus is shining a light on everything, exposing the people who've been part of your downfall, and cutting them off from your life. They thought they could exploit and manipulate you, but they didn't count on God's might operating in your life. This betrayal will hurt, but it's also part of a bigger purpose. Jesus allowed these events so he can raise you to a place where such people can't follow. He's stripping away harmful connections that deplete your energy, joy, and peace. Type, "I cut off the betrayal," if you're ready for freedom from fake relationships and poisonous influences. What the enemy never expected is that Jesus was always miles ahead. The traps set for you, the rumors spread, and the false allegations are all about to be revealed. Here's the amazing twist. The very arrows fired at you will turn into the stepping stones that lift you higher. In the spiritual realm, your name has been cleared, and now it's time for that to manifest in reality. These accusations intended to destroy you will become the reasons people look at you with admiration. Those who aimed to ruin you must stand by and watch as Jesus converts every scheme into a powerful testimony. Type, "I claim my elevation," if you trust that every attack will transform into your greatest win. This conflict runs even deeper. It's not just about you. Generations linked to your destiny are also affected. When you win, you don't triumph alone. Others will be lifted alongside you. That's why the enemy has been fighting so fiercely. He knows that your breakthrough doesn't just change your life, but the lives of those around you too. However, with this blessing comes responsibility. Jesus calls you to a higher role with greater faith, greater self-control, and sharper insight. Not everyone will celebrate your progress. Some will try to hold you back, and others will envy how God's favor shines on you. You must stay resolute. Type, "I'm ready to rise," if you'll accept the responsibility that comes with your upcoming breakthrough. It gets more intense here. Your spiritual DNA has reached places you never realized you were influencing. Certain people watch you carefully, attempting to imitate your every move because they notice something special in you that they desperately crave. You may feel like you're only managing day by day, but in truth, you've been leaving a trail of influence that's impossible to ignore. Jesus has anointed you for great things, and even those who dislike you can't deny it. They follow your path, trying to grasp how you keep going when others would have quit. But be mindful of your next steps. The enemy is paying attention, waiting for a slip-up. If you stay focused on Jesus, you'll step into a season of influence powerful enough to shake everything around you. Type, "I guard my steps," if you will walk purposefully under divine protection. You've come this far, and now the pivotal moment arrives. The enemy has tried to bury the truth, but it's about to turn everything upside down. Someone in your circle has been collaborating with a person of high status, a hidden player with resources and influence. They were hired to bring you down, and the betrayal runs deeper than you suspected. But here's another twist. Jesus has known about it all along. Their silent agreement to destroy you is about to unravel. The truth will burst into the open, catching everyone off guard. The person who believed they had you cornered will be unmasked as a fraud, and you won't just protect your reputation, you'll experience divine vindication. Type, "I claim my vindication," if you're ready to stand in the truth Jesus is exposing right now. Everything you faced, every hardship, every betrayal, every challenge, has led up to this. You were born for such a time. You were meant to conquer the lies, attacks, and plots of the enemy. Jesus has been equipping you for a destiny more incredible than you dared to dream. Here's the final truth. You're not merely a survivor but a champion. You weren't created for an average life. You were chosen for greatness, and the enemy tried desperately to keep you from realizing that. But the veil is gone now. You're stepping into your calling, and nothing can stand in your way. Attacks may still come, but you're now covered by God's armor. Every move you make draws you closer to victory, and each adversary rising against you will ultimately collapse. A mighty force has been released over your life, and everyone will soon witness the extraordinary purpose you've had within you all along. Type, "I claim my destiny," if you believe this moment was appointed for you, and you're prepared to enter the future Jesus has promised. Now comes the final invitation. Everything that happened, every betrayal, every false accusation, every storm, has led you here, to this time of divine unveiling and triumph. Not everyone will come along to the next level. It's reserved for those with bold hearts who trust Jesus has called them to greatness. This is no longer about barely surviving. It's about stepping into a life of boldness and purpose. The enemy thought you were defeated, but Jesus has held you securely the entire time. Now you must claim what's rightfully yours. Type, "I am bold," if you're determined to seize the life Jesus has planned and rise to the occasion.